Hi, my name is Vinnie. What would you like to talk about today?
Recently my younger sister passed away. It's been about 8 months and 10 days. So it's been really more difficult than I thought. I thought it was time to talk to someone about it. So that's basically it.
Okay, I'm very sorry for your loss. It's tough to hear. Um, I commend you for coming in, especially since it did only happen less than a year ago. So I commend you for coming in today.
Yeah, it's been tough. You know, my sister's actually adopted, so my parents brought her home when I was 6 years old. So we've shared a lot of milestones together, um, and it's obviously difficult because I won't get to experience more with her.
Yeah.
So, and I'm the older sister, so a younger sister's not supposed to go before you. So yeah.
Yeah, it sounds to me that you and your sister really bonded because sisters tend to bond like any siblings do. And she was there for a lot, even though she came in when you were 6. It still seemed like that you two shared that sense of sisterhood, even though you were adopted. It didn't seem like that affected you that much.
No, and like I said, we were very close. And my parents aren't really talking about it. So I can't talk to them about how I'm feeling because they're dealing with their own struggles. So I thought I'd talk to someone about it and, just kind of understand how long am I supposed to feel this way in a way?
Yeah, all right. So your sister was a huge part of your life, and it sounds like you went to her whenever you needed that someone that wasn't a parent to understand what you were going through at that time. And now that she's gone, you don't have that support system that you had that you had anymore. So I can see that it is taking a toll on what you're feeling right now.
Yeah, like I said, we were pretty close. It's just honestly, she was so significant in my life. We'd share a lot of things. If I was down, she would find a way to help me feel better. Or if she was down, I would have a way to help her feel better. So it was very sisterly of us, and now there's just that void that's there, and it's quiet, and it's just like, well, what happens now?
It sounds like you did a lot of things together and she was there a lot of your life. So can you like maybe go into some of the events that you shared together when you were growing up?
Well, we went through so many milestones together. Her birthdays, the special ones, the sweet 16s, and she was there for my 21st, and so a lot of major steps were. She was always there. Even my parents weren't there. At least she was there.
Yeah, so what you're pretty much saying is your sister was your like support system growing up throughout your entire childhood, and now that she's gone, there's not that unbreakable bond anymore that you shared in the past with her, and you need something to, or even someone, to fill that void that your sister may or may left behind.
Well, yeah, because like I said, my parents were not always there, and if they weren't, she was. So we never missed a call from each other, no matter how busy it got. We always communicated, checked in with each other. So having that silence now, even for a couple of months, feels off. And I know, you slowly, they tell you to move on. I don't really know the process of how that takes place.
Okay. So I hope by like talking today and in future sessions, which I hope that you come to, we could use some of the tools that I'm gonna like help you through to use to help you get more comfortable with sharing personal thoughts with another person, and hopefully you could build another bond with someone else that's not your sister.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not comfortable opening up too much about it, but hopefully, talking is the best way of doing so, and I guess that's a step in the
Mm-hmm.
right direction. I know eventually you have to move on, so I'm hoping, talking about it helps with the process, because I can't, just stay in this area, in this grief forever.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to, continue talking to you about that.
Okay, so it sounds like we have a good place to start and start building to get you more comfortable, even though you're not comfortable now. So we could either set up weekly meetings if you would like, or we can do every
Um,
other week.
we could just, start off with a meeting a week
Okay.
and go from there, I think.